Hey YouTube, this is Sun Prepper 1. Someone sent me this awesome thing. It was sent to me on an email. It says requirements for off-grid living, and then it lists them. I'll go over them, but it got me thinking of what I'm trying to accomplish. But basically, I want to sum it up as what I can control, I control. I don't worry about all the rest of this stuff. You might be looking at the Russia-Ukraine problem, the Israel-Iran problem, every other problem in this world. You can't control any of those problems, so don't worry about them. So what you can control, though, is how you're setting yourself up to deal with the repercussions from all these problems. So that's what you want to do. If you can't control it, do not worry about it. Sort of worry about what you can control, and that's prepping. So let's start off with the first one. It says, being your own central bank, no debt. This is the biggest thing. If you're in debt, you are a slave to the lender. So do your best to get out of it. If you're in debt already, don't take on new debt. Don't use that credit card unless it's absolutely necessary, or you're going to pay it off at the end of the month. Also want to add with that is, if you're going to be your own central bank, what are you going to back it up with? Gold and silver. You have to have something tangible. Having a bunch of Federal Reserve notes are great. It helps, but think about silver and gold. You got to have that, but the biggest thing is no debt. Next is owning your own land and home. Most people have to have a mortgage, and I understand that, but work hard. I would rather live in a shack on 3, 4, 5 acres of land than in a nice house in the suburbs. Get it paid for and develop your property, develop your infrastructure. Next is being your own farmer. I don't grow all my own food, not even close. Don't even want to try, because for me, it's more profitable to do other things to make money to then buy my food. I do garden a lot. I got fruit trees. I do that. That is so I am proficient. So if the day comes where there's no food in the grocery store, I can fire up my gardens. I can fire up a lot of things. And I already have that knowledge, because having the knowledge is important. So yes, I am my own farmer, but not even close to what I need to be. And I'm not even trying to do that right now. I would recommend chickens. Getting into chickens, they give you eggs, they give you meat. A lot of pluses for them. And if you lose a couple chickens, it's not the end of the world. Lose a couple cows that are worth $2,000 or $3,000 a piece, and it'll make you cry. Next is being your own 911 and security. That self-explanatory. Also, I'm thinking about what is my security in a grid down event. And definitely I've addressed this here, but you need to address it. Not having 911 or having law enforcement available to come to help you. Are you able to take care of yourself and your family? Next is making your own clothes from scratch. Definitely not even trying to do this. Today, there's the ability just to buy extra shoes, extra clothes, extra everything you're going to need. I have no desire to weave fabric, absolutely none. My wife is an excellent seamstress. She has made tons of clothes, especially children's clothes. So she has that ability to repair everything, make new if we have to. But right now, for me, I'm not going to weave any cloth. We've done some deer hide tanning and stuff like that. So we could if we had to, but there's so much out there, I'm not worried about it in my mind right now. Providing your own energy, water, and septic. This is huge. This goes back to the infrastructure. To be free, definitely, can you provide water? Can you provide energy? I'm doing that here by having a well, having a backup spring, having a creek, having your own catchment. So water is good here, having multiple ways to deliver that water into the house safely. Energy, solar, also having generators. When you're talking generators, you gotta have a good fuel plan. How are you gonna store diesel? How are you gonna store gas? And having a fuel plan is very important. Septic, you gotta have a septic tank. You gotta have a way to dispose of it. You might be in the city, you're on public sewer. Start thinking about, how am I gonna get rid of my waste if the public sewer is no longer working? All this is to off-grid living. But I can sum it up pretty much. I'm a logistical specialist. It's easy today to stockpile things you might need, or I stockpile things I can't make. I also stockpile for my children and grandchildren, future generations. So yeah, I'm prepping for a lot of bad things that could happen because I want to take care of my kids. I want to take my grandkids, my elderly parents, elderly other friends I have. I want to do that. But I'm prepping so my children and my grandchildren will have an easier life. That sums it up. Having infrastructure, having the ability to have machinery so they could use that either to do their own home or to make money, trying to set them up to be successful. Because right now, things aren't looking good. It's hard to make ends meet because everything's getting expensive. So it goes back to that infrastructure. Being able to do things easily. Yeah, you could survive in a little shack out on 5 acres, but you could survive better if you have a house, if you had a barn, if you had a chicken coop, if you had rain catchment, and all that's infrastructure. And I understand it takes money. It's just how dedicated are you? How dedicated is your spouse or your significant other? You know, if one's dedicated a lot and one doesn't care, I don't know if that's going to be too successful for you getting prepared. But prepping for future generations, prepping so their life will be easier, is big on my mind. I want to leave them set up for success. My grandchildren will have a lot easier than I had it, a lot easier than my parents had it. So yeah, I'm prepping for a lot of bad things to happen. I can't control them. I can't worry about them. What I can control is what's happening on this piece of property, the infrastructure, the work that's being done to make my life easier. Right now it's not easy because we're working hard. There is light at the end of the tunnel. So hopefully in the next year or so, a lot of these projects will be, just marked off the list. And it's also a desire to take care of my responsibility as a father and a husband, but it's also the responsibility to look around my neighborhood and say, oh, wow, those people are elderly, they're on Social Security, there's no way they can prep. Now, maybe they should have prepped, maybe they should have done better with their resources when they were younger. A lot of people I see wasting resources, wasting time, wasting money. I can't control that, but there are people out there that genuinely will need help, and I want to be set up for success so I can help them. I'm thinking about a plan of, I have some days excessive power. I could freeze 2-liter water bottles, 20 of them, freeze them. And then the next day I could swap out, give 4 water bottles frozen so they could put them in their cooler. I'm gonna do an experiment. I don't know if anyone's ever tried that. Take your freezer. You have no power, but you have a freezer. To put 4 or 5 frozen 2-liter water bottles or apple juice water bottles in the freezer. How cold will that freezer stay? Will it be at least refrigeration cold? So you can at least keep leftovers a little bit cold. Not being able to keep leftovers cold is hard to plan your meals, hard to do a lot of things. And it goes into food safety. People can get sick, food poisoning. People could die just because they can't keep food cold. So there's a lot of things I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about the ability. I have some water cans, 5-gallon water cans. I could deliver water every other day. I could deliver a lot of water. I have unlimited water. My well puts out 50 gallons a minute. Lord willing, that will continue, and I'll be able to bless other people with water drops. That's why I have backup utility vehicles that run off solar. So I could actually deliver a pretty wide area around my house. I could deliver water to needy people. I believe if the Lord blesses you, or if he doesn't bless you, have a responsibility, especially as a Christian, to help people. Yes, you have to help yourself. You have to help your family. That's priority one. But if you have the ability, and giving water to people, giving frozen water bottles to keep their food cold, or even just put their frozen water bottles in a cooler, it's not costing me really anything. Yes, it'll cost a little time. It'll cost sun. That sun generating the electricity to run the freezers, generating electricity to charge the golf carts. I won't have much in it. It's also being sort of selfish, because if I'm a needed part of my community, if people say, oh yeah, Dave, yeah, he delivers water to all those people, or he delivers ice to those people, or he helps those people. If I am seen as an asset to my community, I will have more support. I will have the ability to influence people. I might even have the ability to have people come help me when I need it. So say, hey, Dave's in trouble. We need to go help him. And I want that. So, infrastructure. I'm prepping for my future generations. That sums it up. And having a plan of stockpiling, logistics. Everything I stockpile, I'm definitely going to use on the property, or I buy it on auction. And you can see, I have a couple hundred, 150 file cabinets. Each one has a purpose. So one of them has just bungee cords. And it doesn't matter if I have 10 bungee cords in there or 50 bungee cords in there. It takes up sort of the same space in that drawer. So logistically, things are getting more expensive every day, or things one day might not be available, and at least I will have them. Now, people say, Dave, you're a hoarder. No, I'm not a hoarder. I've had people come in and say, hey, if I'm a hoarder, tell me what to throw away. And they look around and say, Dave, it's all good stuff. It's all worth money. It's all needed, especially if you are trying to build infrastructure. Now, if you live in a city, in a condo, you don't need what I am trying to accomplish here. You don't. You know what I mean? You don't need all kinds of electrical parts or solar parts, a lot of things for keeping equipment running. You don't need it. My path is different than your path. So if you look around your place and you say, dang, it's a mess. Maybe you're a hoarder. If you can walk through, or someone else can walk through and pick something and say, why are you keeping this? This is just garbage. Maybe you're becoming a hoarder, or you just don't want to throw it away, or you're too lazy to throw it away. But now is the time to get organized to the max. Another reason to get organized to the max is all these things are labeled. So if my brother's here, someone's here, and I say, hey, go get something, they can come down here and quickly find it. Also, have you ever had something, you know you had it and you needed it, you couldn't find it, so you ran to the store and you bought it, and you get home and about 3 days later oh, there it is, I could have saved $25. Being organized will save you money, literally will help you save money. So I'm rambling. If you can't control it, don't worry about it, and start prepping for future generations. Some of you are going to say, Dave, I can't even take care of myself. I know that. But try to position yourself where you're taking care of yourself and then thinking about your kids and grandkids. Thanks for watching.